Should Bitcoiners be worried about the U.S. midterms, the midterm elections? Should Bitcoiners be worried about it? I think you guys know my answer. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is what we're going to talk about today. What's up, guys? It is, what's today? Tuesday, yeah. January 27th, 2026. I don't know the Bitcoin block height, but I am far from home, guys. I'm on the edge of Las Vegas, and I'm doing a little gig out here. And I got a few minutes, so I said, why not? But should Bitcoiners be worried about the midterms? Absolutely, you should. Why, as a Bitcoiner, and I don't give a shit what country you're from, but especially if you're an American, why should you care about the midterms? It's really simple, guys. Hold on. It's really simple. So I'm just walking in front of cars. If we don't win the midterms, and who is we, by the way? Unfortunately, it's come down to, on the outside, it looks like Republicans versus Democrats. That's what it looks like, okay? And I know what people are going to say. Oh, left wing, right wing, they all come from the same chicken. Not in the 2020s, guys. It's completely different. Now, are there some crooked ass Republicans? Absolutely. Are there some rhinos, swamp creatures, evil, demonic Republicans? Yes, there are. Warmongers? Yep, sure are. But what Trump is doing right now, he is in the midst of trying to change the conservative / Republican Party, if you will, into an American first or America first coalition. Okay? And the Democrat Party, because they have changed so much, this is why Donald Trump, in my personal opinion, and what he said and what he says, is why he ran for president. Because, again, the New World Order, the globalists, the World Economic Forum, all these people, these slithering demonic lizards out here that are running the world. Because, again, Nick Shirley, who's not considered a far right wing or whatever, he's just a common sense dude. Does he lean conservative? I mean, I guess if you got common sense, you do. But Nick Shirley is being treated like a criminal for exposing crimes. And anytime that happens, if you are a person that exposes fraud and crime, then you are being ruled by criminals. Don't ever get it twisted, guys. Donald Trump does not run the United States of America. He's the president of the United States of America, but he does not run the United States of America. All right? And I'll get into that in another video. And if you know, you know. Okay? But back to the Republican versus Democrat thing. It seems like it's Republican versus Democrat. But again, the far left has completely taken over the Democrat Party, and there is no more moderates anymore. There's no moderate Democrats anymore. And the ones that are moderate, quote unquote, a lot of them have gone and became conservative, aka Tulsi Gabbard, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. There's still some fence riders out there, but for the most part, the Democrat Party of the Bill Clintons, if you will, and again, I know Bill Clinton's not a great guy, but that party of common sense, meaning closing the borders, even Barack Obama did it, balancing the budget, crime, just overall common sense policies, that's gone, man. That's absolutely gone. These progressive and these far lefties have taken over the country on the Democrat side of the aisle. And meanwhile, Donald Trump's version of the Republican Party is taking over the old guard of the Republican Party. And what's the old guard Republican Party? I mean, you had the Tea Party. You had, like I said, some rhinos, some people that are bought and paid for by the military-industrial complex, and then you had some conservatives that actually want the border to be open and pretend like they don't. Because, again, he found out the hard way, Donald Trump, in 2017, in January, when he came into office, that just because you have an R next to your name, that doesn't mean they're on your side. And these people, again, are snakes and creatures of the swamp. And you still have some of these people left over. Again, I don't trust Lindsey Graham as far as I can throw him. Nikki Haley is a snake. And again, there's a few more too out there. Shit, Romney's gone now. But there's some other swamp creatures. And Trump is trying to change the Democrat Party into an America First coalition, an umbrella full of people that have common sense and want to put America first and not be so damn partisan, man. But the problem is when you come into the lion's den of power and you try to disrupt that power like Trump is doing, let's just say Trump is like a man holding a stick, and the apparatus and the bad people are that beehive that are getting hit by that stick, and that's what Donald Trump is. He is a bull in a china shop, okay? And they've been attacking him ever since he came down the escalator in 2015. People that used to love Donald Trump, okay? So, again, that is the quote-unquote Republican Party we're talking about today, and we know what the far lefties are. They're emboldened and they're held to account by the far left, crazy small group of people in this country, like the people in Minnesota and all the commentators that are far left that pretend like they're moderates. They're beholden to them. They are full-blown mask-off, full-blown socialists, Marxists, and communists. That's what they are. That's the Democrat Party today. So why should a Bitcoiner care about the midterms? If we lose the midterms, the America First Coalition, sorry about that rant, guys. If we lose the midterms, here's what's going to happen, okay? Number one is they're going to try to impeach Trump. We've talked about this ad nauseum, okay? Number two, we're not going to get any of our agendas passed. And what is our agendas as Bitcoiners? I'm not talking about America First, people. I'm a patriot in America First. I'm just talking about people that are Bitcoiners, that are non-political. And don't get me started with that. And people that don't care about politics. You just care about Bitcoin. Well, you could say goodbye to all the stuff and all the momentum we had for Bitcoin stuff. Like what? Well, all the wallets, the exchanges, all the technology, all the miners that we were going to have in this country. We were going to be the number one mining country in the world, if we're not already. Because remember, China, as a communist country, got rid of a lot of their mining. You saw what the hash rate did. And I believe it was in 2021, I believe it was. Our hash rate will fall tremendously. They will shut down those miners in Texas. You mark my words. Also, they'll have Canada under control. The Democrat Party, aka the CCCP party, they don't have any Bitcoin as it is. They'll take over and be in bed with Mexico, killing the Monroe Doctrine that Trump has fought hard for, aka Venezuela and everything else. And there's a big rumor that Venezuela has a lot of Bitcoin. What do you think is the Democrats will do? Not only will they overspend and print more money, which will cause inflation to go up. And I know most of you say, oh, well, my Bitcoin will go up. Yes, it will, short term. The problem is all money ain't good money. You don't want everybody around you to be facing, dare I say, hyperinflation while all this stuff is going on. And if they take back over Venezuela, the CCCP party, the Democrat Party today, that's not going to be good. And the Western Hemisphere will be taken over by communists, socialists, and Marxists. We as Bitcoiners, we're here for what? You're not loving Bitcoin because you want the number to go up. Most of you guys aren't. Most of you guys came for that, but you came because it's freedom money. The Democrat Party, today's party, will take away your freedoms, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to give you an example. We all know as Bitcoiners, Bitcoin can't be stopped. It just can't be stopped. We know that, right? But what it can do is it can have a choke point at the things that you like, or it can help Bitcoin's adoption, because that's the number one thing you want is adoption. And the reason why Bitcoin is so great, obviously, we know all the things it's great about it. But the number one thing is the network effect. We have a great network. They will slow down the network by doing many things. You think they're going to pass the no tax spending on your Bitcoin when you spend your Bitcoin or cash out, quote unquote, your Bitcoin? Absolutely not. They will tax you to fucking death. They will confiscate Bitcoin out of places like Coinbases and things like that. They will shut down exchanges. Again, it'll be an operation choke point, for all the areas that man can stop or hinder Bitcoin. Okay? Now, I don't know about you, and I could be wrong about this, but I don't know about you, but I want Bitcoin adoption to happen in my lifetime, and I'm 51 years old. I don't want to wait 100 years. Do you? I don't think so. So if we lose these midterms, and I know a lot of you guys are in the comments where you're going to say that, not only will we lose our SBR, Strategic Bitcoin Reserve, and a lot of you are going to say, oh, they stole it anyways, they need to let it go. Okay, that's fine. But what's going to happen if the Bitcoin comes out in the open market? Because they're not going to fucking keep it. Look what Joe Biden did in his 4 years. He sold a bunch of it. They're going to put a bunch of Bitcoin in the market, and that's going to crash the price short term, albeit. But we won't solidify as a country to have it. Because even if you're not an American, ladies and gentlemen, you want the freedom country, aka America, to have the freedom money and lead the way. Also, they're going to stop the Bitcoin Act. And again, I know most of you guys are going to say, oh, well, we don't want them to buy 200,000 Bitcoin a year. I get it. Okay, I understand that. But you're looking short term, man. If you want Bitcoin to be adopted and you want it to be the go through all 5 steps, right? Which is, we've already gone through collectible. We're at the store of value, 97, 96% store of value. Then a medium of exchange, 3-4% is medium exchange. And then a unit of account, that's the next one. And it's the best unit of account of money man has ever seen. And then, of course, the global reserve asset, global reserve currency. Then we need the network effect to keep going and not stop. And we need adoption. And the Democrat Party will do anything to stop it. Okay? They will try to replace, and I'm not saying they will do this, but they will try to replace Bitcoin with a central bank digital currency. You thought the media went after Trump hard? Because you've seen what the apparatus does. You've seen what the cartels, the NGOs, the media, the politicians, and the like all work together in that 4-headed monster do. What do you think they're going to do with Bitcoin? Bitcoin is way more dangerous to their power and control and their slave apparatus than Trump could ever be. They want it to stop. So guys, listen to me, please. Don't bury your head in the sand and sit here and say politics doesn't matter. Who gives a shit? All this other stuff. It does matter. And I can go on and on and on about this. But I'm going to keep this short because I talk a lot. All right? So do yourself a favor. Do your family a favor and get involved in politics. I actually know a place you can go to learn both. And that's my channel, Jerry Loves Freedom. I do a live stream now here on YouTube on another one called Tumble, Noster, Primal, Zapstream, all 4 of those apps. I'll be doing it all at the same time. Probably between Monday through Friday. I did one earlier today. I'm probably not going to do one tonight, but maybe. We'll see. I doubt it. Starts at 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 o'clock Pacific time. And I give away free Satoshis, free Bitcoin. And I intertwine Bitcoin with politics because it all goes together, ladies and gentlemen. It all goes together. And if we want to win this thing, and what's this thing? It's freedom and sovereignty and stop people from dying, because that's the number one thing. We don't want anybody to die due to inflation or starving or, again, debasement of currency and all this other stuff. Nobody would do it better than the Democrat Party as far as debasing our currency, not paying off the national debt, being in more of debt than we are today, and causing this country and this world to sink into the abyss of slavery. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. And again, guys, we got to work together. We got to stand hand in hand and march towards the belly of the beast. And what's the belly of the beast? I named those 4 things. And we have to fight against it. Because again, if you don't know the truth, you are a slave. And if you do know the truth and you're not acting upon that truth, and you're living in a bubble, or you got your head in the fucking sand, you're a slave as well. If all you care about is Bitcoin and nothing else, you don't get the whole picture if you're like that. And if you're feeling some type of way, when I'm talking to you, like my grandma used to say, a hit dog a holler. I'm talking to you. So join the movement today, and not just stack the money, but get involved with the movement. And I think if I had to take a guess, when it comes to this money, I'm pretty sure you guys already know what that is. It's the best way to save. And for me, the only way to save. And that's Bitcoin. I love each and every one of you, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace and love, guys.
What is up, guys? What is up? It is 11 o'clock here on Wednesday, January 28th, 2026. As you can see here, we're at the Bitcoin block height of 934,113. TikTok, next block. Hope you guys are doing well. I did not promote this video at all. What is it, the 28th? 113. We're going to do some spins today. What's up, everybody? I had to get the wheel ready or nothing. Oh, my goodness. The Fed. Let's see. Let's go live to the Fed real quick. Let's see what those idiots are doing. Let's see what those idiots are doing. Fed rate cut. Let's see what these fools are doing. Hope you guys are well. What to expect. Watching.
Job growth in real time. They don't count everybody. They have a survey. And there's been something of a systematic overcount. And so we expected, and they correct it twice a year. So the last time they corrected it, we thought the correction would be 800,000 or 900,000. I won't get the numbers exactly right. And that was exactly what happened. So we think that has persisted. And so there's an overcount in the payroll job numbers, we think, continuing, and it will be corrected. I don't have the exact month in my head right now, and that's just, I think forecasters generally understand that. So,
Jenny sent in 1, 2, 3, 4 sats. Thank you, Jenny. I appreciate you, ma'am, so much. Thank you very much.
But in any case, but the thing is, that's job creation in a way. That's demand. Labor supply has also come down quite sharply. So, if you had a world where there's just no growth in workers, and you really don't need a lot of jobs to have full.
Sharon sending in the kisses. Thank you, Sharon. And she says, "How is he going to spin the wheel walking?" Good afternoon, Lauren. How are you? Good afternoon, Jerry and everyone. Hey, Ginger. Hey, Praetorian. Great rant. Thank you. I appreciate that. Is this going to be a new normal lifetime? No. It's just the Fed rate cut is on right now. And Sharon sends in a big super sticker. Thank you, Sharon. Appreciate that, man. Very much. Thank you. Can you guys share this video, please? And thank you. Jen, yes. Share it on all your social medias and stuff, please.
Announcements of layoffs, and also companies saying that they're not going to hire anybody for a long time, and they cite AI. That's all clearly happening. At the same time, people are not filing for unemployment insurance, and since job creation, job finding rates are extremely low. If there were big numbers of layoffs, you'd expect the continuing claims to go up, and you expect new claims to go up. But really haven't much. So it's a little bit curious. But longer term, though, the question is, what are we going to see here? And we don't know. But it's it may be that in past technology, really significant technology innovation eras, you have seen some jobs destroyed and other jobs made. Ultimately, what's happened for a couple hundred years is when you get through all that, you have higher productivity, and you have new jobs, and there are enough jobs for people. This may be different. It's every time we have a wave of technology, we think, this could put a lot of people out of work. What are they going to do? In the past, there's always been more work and higher productivity, and incomes have risen. What will happen here, we're going to have to see. But right now is such early days. We don't think we see much.
Creel, what's good, brother? How are you? Oh, I know you're happy right now with that silver and gold. I'm interested in this Fed rate decision. My mortgage renewal is coming up soon. LOL. Yes. We're also live on Rumble as well as Zapstream and Nostr. So go ahead and go over there too, guys, if you don't mind.
And the board members.
It's not so stark as that. The views are more varied on in each group as well. There's some of that, but I would say they're also governors and they're people on both sides in both groups. I wouldn't put too much in that.
Okay, and just to follow up, please, given your growth upgrade, how would you factor in, or what would be the economic impact if the Supreme Court is to strike down the tariffs that they're currently hearing, please, in terms of growth and inflation? Thank you.
I really don't know. It would depend. It would depend on a whole bunch of things we don't know. So I can't really help you there.
Christine. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair Powell. Christine Romans, NBC News. I wanted to ask you about how the higher income households are really driving spending right now. They're backed by home equity and stock market wealth, but lower income consumers are really struggling with the accumulation of 5 years now of rising prices. It's price levels, not really the inflation rate, holding some of these families back. How sustainable is this so-called K-shaped economy? And what are the Fed's thoughts on whether that's a risk going forward?
So we do, through our vast network of contacts and just through our observation of what's going on in the economy, we hear about this a lot. If you listen to the earnings reports for consumer-facing companies that tend to deal with low and moderate income people, they'll all say that we're seeing people, tightening their belts, changing products that they buy, buying less, and that sort of thing. And so it's clearly a thing. It's also clearly a thing that, asset values, housing values, and securities values are high, and they tend to be owned by people more at the higher end of the income and wealth. So as how sustainable it is, I don't know. Most of the consumption does happen by people who have more means. I think, the top third accounts for way more than a third of the consumption, for example. So it's a good question how sustainable that is. The best we can do is to have a, price stability and a strong labor market. And what we saw.
Thank you, Ginger, for following on Rumble. I appreciate that, brother. The redheaded Jew. Hello, Rumble. Just followed. Love it, Jerry. Thank you, man. I appreciate that, man. Yes, Jerry, you caught me off guard with the time. It's early evening here over the pond. Hope you're well. Hey, J-Dog. What's up with Frankie and Lulu and you? Good to see you, man. How are you? Can he just retire? I know, man. Trent, what's going on, sir? I know, man. I know. He'll be gone in a couple of months. He will be gone in a couple of months. Thanks, you guys. And again, we're live streaming on Zapstream and also Rumble. Can somebody do me a favor and send me a message on Primal or Zapstream, please, so I can see if it's working? Because I don't see any messages coming in. You don't have to zap anything, just a message, please. Thank you.
More people can maybe enjoy that part of wealth creation. I mean, the average age or median age of a first-time home buyer is now 40 years old. That's the highest on record.
Yeah, so the housing market faces some really significant challenges. And I don't know that, a 25 basis point decline in the federal funds rate is going to make much of a difference for people. Housing supply is low. Many people have very, very low rate mortgages from the pandemic period, and they kept refinancing and caught the really low. So it's made it expensive for them to move. And, we're a ways away from that changing. Also, we haven't built enough housing in the country for a long time. And so a lot of estimates suggest that we just need more housing of different kinds. So housing is going to be a problem. And really the tools to address it are we can raise and lower interest rates, but we don't really have the tools to address, a secular housing shortage, a structural housing shortage.
Chris.
Thanks. Chris Rugaber, Associated Press. You mentioned on inflation, services inflation being low, goods inflation looking like maybe it'll peak. We had the wages report you mentioned today showing moderating wage growth.
Thank you, Sharon. Sharon sends in a a message on Zapstream. She says first. Okay, that's working. Thank you, Sharon. I appreciate that very much, ma'am. Thank you.
Well, I think the risk in inflation is pretty clear to see, and that is, we see higher inflation. As I mentioned, most of the inflation over target is from goods, and we expect, most of us, that inflation will be a one-time price increase and then come down. We just came off an experience where inflation turned out to be much more persistent than anyone had expected. Is that going to happen now? That's the risk. The risk is either that tariff inflation just turns out to be more and more persistent, maybe because companies who are now holding back from passing through the tariffs will just keep doing that. So you see that. I think the other possibility is less likely. And
Ginger, you hit the nail right on the head, sir. That's because they gave all the houses to illegals. Yeah. This is what these lefties don't understand, Ginger, about basic economics 101, supply and demand. They don't realize that there's not enough supply for the demand when you have an influx of millions and millions of people that don't belong here and also us paying for them. It's a double whammy, man. Canada is the same. Wow. Yeah, that's crazy, bro. That's crazy. I'm loving seeing the Rumble stuff too, man. And there looks like a dollar sign over here on Rumble. So if anybody wants to hit that and tell me what it means, let me know. If there's super chats on Rumble, I don't even know how it works.
AI or policy factors or whatever, and how much is that driving the higher GDP projection in the SEP?
So yeah, I mean, I never thought I would see a time when we had 5-6 years of 2% productivity growth. This is higher. This is definitely higher, and it was before it could be attributed to AI. I also think if you look at what AI can do, and if you use it in your personal life, as I imagine many of us have, you can see the prospects for productivity. I think it makes people who use it more productive. It may make other people have to find other jobs, though. So it could have productivity implications while also having social and labor market implications that we don't have the tools to deal with. But yes, I think we're definitely seeing higher productivity. I think it's a little quick to be saying it's generative AI, but I don't know. The pandemic may have induced people to do more automation and do more things with computers to replace people, and that raises productivity, output per hour.
Does that imply a higher neutral rate, and therefore the policy might be a little easier than it seems?
Wow. Jenny just sent in a big donation, or Nico did. $5. I got you, Jerry, from Nico. The human isn't paying attention. Sincere's in the house. He said, "Did I make it to the live on time, or am I quote unquote too late, like the stiff standing at the podium?" Nah, you're good, man. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you, Nico, very much. Did I Sin, Jen, Jerry, is your tip jar activated? I don't know. How do you do that? I don't know how that works, to be honest with you. I've never done it before. Thank you so much, Nico. Sorry, this thing cut off. Hold on one second. Let me put it back on. Thank you guys for coming in. Thank you, Nico. I really appreciate that.
Sorry.
Given any more thought, and can you tell us any more about your plans on whether or not you plan to stay on the Fed Board of Governors even after your term as chair expires?
Again, I'm focused on my remaining time as chair. I haven't got anything new on that to tell you.
Go to Mark for the last question.
Sharon said she can't zap here. We'll zap later. Kisses. I don't like that, man. Why is it not letting me zap? Why is it not letting you guys zap? Dang it! Give my phone back, you little furry freeloader. Fight you, Jenny. You are too funny. Sharon, it won't let you zap, huh? That's one thing I don't like about Zapstream, and they make you pay to do it, which is fine, but then the stuff that you need doesn't work. But I know it's new. We got to be patient, but it's a little frustrating, you know.
Collateral damage of our I mean, over time we do what we do in order to create price stability and maximum employment, and those things are hugely valuable to all the people we serve. When we raise rates to bring inflation down, you know, that does work by slowing the economy, but we've moved back our policy back down to where it's certainly not strongly restrictive at this point. I think it's sort of in the range of neutral. So that's what we're trying to do, and I would want people to understand that. I think what people are feeling is the effect of higher prices. There was a global wave, sort of every large economy in the world, sort of every large open economy.
Sharon said, "It's me, not you." Laughing emoji. Okay. Well, I appreciate that, Sharon, very much.
This is really due to the American economy. We have an extraordinary economy. My colleagues and I remain squarely focused on achieving our dual mandate goals of maximum employment and stable prices for the benefit of the American people. Although important federal government data for the past couple of months have yet to be released, available public and private sector data suggests that the outlook for employment and inflation has not changed as much since our meeting in October.
Jason, what's good, my boy? Got an early stream for this little acting job up here, Jason. That's all it is. Just it's performative right now. This is Fed Chair Powell. Maximum employment, bro. I can't get hired in my field. F you, Powell. Exactly, man. At the gym right now. Okay, man. Get it in, bro. Get it in, brother.
Purpose of maintaining an ample supply of reserves over time, thus supporting effective control of our policy rate. I will have more to say about monetary policy and its implementation after briefly reviewing economic developments. Although some key government data have yet to be released, available indicators suggest that economic activity has been expanding at a moderate pace. Consumer spending appears to have remained solid, and business fixed investment has continued to expand. In contrast, activity in the housing sector remains weak. The temporary shutdown of the federal government has likely weighed on economic activity in the current quarter, but these effects should be mostly offset by higher growth next quarter, reflecting.
Sin says he couldn't zap on Zapstream, but he can on Primal. Okay, thank you, brother. It's not even showing here. Let me refresh that. It's showing on my other screen, but not this one. Thank you, Sin. Sin sent in looks like hold on, I don't want to misquote it. Hold on, Sin. I appreciate you, brother. Yeah, he sent in 1845. Thank you, Sin. I appreciate that. And also Vic Schutz is in the house. He sends in 210 sats. Thank you, guys. I appreciate that very much from both of y'all. Very, very, very much, guys. Couldn't do this without you.
Lower immigration and labor force participation, though labor demand has clearly softened as well. In this less dynamic and somewhat softer labor market, the downside risks to employment appear to have risen in recent months. In our SEP, the median projection of the unemployment rate is 4.5% at the end of this year.
Exactly, Jason. This is what these liberals don't understand, bro. Supply and demand. I was just saying this. You're absolutely right, bro.
Rise in mid-2022, but remains somewhat elevated relative to our 2% longer run goal. Very little data on inflation have been released since our meeting in October. Total PCE prices rose 2.8% over the 12 months ending in September, and excluding the volatile food and energy categories, core PCE prices also rose 2.8%. These readings are higher than earlier in the year as inflation for goods has picked up, reflecting the effects of tariffs. In contrast, disinflation appears to be continuing for services. Near-term measures of inflation expectations have declined from their peaks earlier in the year, as reflected in both market and survey-based measures. Most measures of longer-term expectations remain consistent with our 2% inflation goal. The median projection in the SEP for total PCE inflation is 2.9% this year and 2.4% next year, a bit lower than the median projection in September. Thereafter, the median falls to 2%. Our monetary policy actions are guided by our dual mandate to promote maximum employment and stable prices for the American people. At today's meeting, the committee decided to lower the target range for the federal funds rate by a quarter percentage point to 3.5% to 3.75%. In the near term, risks to inflation are tilted to the upside and risks to employment to the downside, a challenging situation. There is no risk-free path for policy as we navigate this tension between our employment and inflation goals. A reasonable base case is that the effects of tariffs on inflation will be relatively short-lived, effectively a one-time shift in the price level. Our obligation is to make sure that a one-time increase in the price level does not become an ongoing inflation problem. But with downside risks to employment having risen in recent months, bring it within a range of plausible estimates of neutral and leave us well positioned to determine the extent.
Okay, can you guys hear me now? The thing at the bottom was muted, sorry. Muted again, LMFAO. Can you guys hear me now? Can you guys hear me? Yes or no? There you go, okay. Yeah, Stack and Richie, yours is not coming through, brother. Now I can hear the beautiful chocolate man. Sharon gets it. What Sharon said? LMFAO, you just fat fingered the mute button, sir. I can't hear my schedule program. There you go. Heard none of that. Okay. Basically, what I was saying was Stack and Richie, I could not see your comments, brother. Stack and Richie. I have two screens up. I have this one on this computer and this one over here, and it's not showing up, my friend. So I don't know what's going on, sir. Didn't hear your comment about my comment. Oh, okay. I said, you said dude is reading from the same script that he has been reading from the past year. What is the purpose of this? Exactly, bro. This is what you call performative acting, sir. And you said it right. It is a script. That's all, man. LMAO, I heard that, Jerry. You said, there you go. Bitcoin is immutable. And Jerry is not. Oh, Sharon. Thank you, Mel. I guess.
The reserve management purchases to decline, though the actual pace will depend on market conditions. In our implementation framework, an ample supply of reserves means that the federal funds rate and other short-term interest rates are primarily controlled by the setting of our administered rates, rather than day-to-day discretionary interventions in money markets. In this regime, standing repurchase agreement or repo operations are a critical tool to ensure that the federal funds rate remains within its target range, even on days of elevated pressures in money markets. Consistent with this view, the committee eliminated the aggregate limit on standing repo operations. These operations are intended to support monetary policy implementation and smooth market functioning and should be used when economically sensible. To conclude, the Fed has been assigned 2 goals for monetary policy: maximum employment and stable prices. We remain committed to supporting maximum employment, bringing our inflation sustainably down to our 2% goal, and keeping longer-term inflation expectations well anchored. Our success in delivering on these goals matters to all Americans. We understand that our actions affect communities, families, and businesses across the country. Everything we do is in service to our public mission. At the Fed, we will do everything we can to achieve our maximum employment and price stability goals. Thank you, and I look forward to your questions.
Howard.
Thank you. Howard Schneider with Reuters. Just first turning to the statement, just to be clear, we're on the same page here. The insertion of the phrase, considering the extent and timing of additional adjustments, does that indicate that the Fed is now on hold until there's some clearer signal from inflation or jobs or the evolution of the economy along the baseline outlook?
So, yes, the adjustments since September bring our policy within a broad range of estimates of neutral. And as we noted in our statement today, we are well positioned to determine the extent and timing of additional adjustments based on the incoming data, the evolving outlook, and the balance of risks. That new language points out that we'll carefully evaluate that incoming data. And also, I would note that having reduced our policy rate by 75 basis points since September and 175 basis points since last September, the Fed funds rate is now within a broad range of estimates of its neutral value, and we are well positioned to wait to see how the economy evolves.
And if I could follow up on the outlook there, it seems like with the additional GDP growth coupled with easing inflation and a fairly steady unemployment rate, this seems like a pretty optimistic outlook for next year. What's given rise to that? Is this an early bet on AI? Is there some sense of improving productivity out there? What's driving that?
So a number of things are driving what's happening in the forecast. And I would say if you look broadly at outside forecasts, you do see a pickup in growth in many of those now too. So it is it's partly that consumer spending has held up. It's been resilient, and it to another degree it is that AI spending on data centers and related to AI has been holding up business investment. So overall, the baseline expectation for next year is, at least at the Fed, and I think with outside forecasters too, is a pickup in growth from today's relatively low level of 1.7%. I mentioned that the SEP median is 1.7 for this year growth and 2.3 for next year. You actually, some of that is due to the shutdown. So you can take 0.2 out of 2026 and put it in 2025. So it would really be 1.9 and 2.1. But overall, yes, for a few reasons, fiscal policy is going to be supportive. And as I mentioned, AI spending will continue. The consumer continues to spend. So it looks like the baseline would be solid growth next year.
Steve.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for taking our questions here. You had previously described rate cuts in terms of a risk management framework, and kind of following up on what Howard was asking, is the risk management phase of rate cuts over here? And have you taken out sufficient insurance, I guess, against potential weakness in terms of the data we might get next week when it comes to employment?
So we're going to get a great deal of data between now and the January meeting, and I'm sure we'll talk more about that. And the data that we get are going to factor into our thinking. But yes, we have. If you go back, we held our policy rate at 5.4% for more than a year because inflation was high, very high, and unemployment in the labor market was really solid at that point. So what happened is over last summer of 24, inflation came down and the labor market began to show real signs of weakness. And so we decided, as our framework tells us to do, that when the risks to the two goals become more equal, you should move from a stance that favors really dealing with one of them, in that case inflation, to a more balanced, more neutral setting. And so we did that. We did some cutting, and then we paused for a while to work our way through what was happening in the middle of the year. And then we resumed cuts in September, and we've cut now 3. We've now cut a total of 175 basis points. And as I mentioned, we feel like where we're positioned now we're well positioned to wait and see how the economy evolves from here.
If I could just follow up on the SEP, you have a whole lot of big increase in the growth numbers, but not a big decline in the unemployment numbers. And is that an AI factor in there? What is going on in terms of the dynamic of you get more growth, but you don't get a whole lot of decline in unemployment? Thank you, sir.
So the implication is obviously higher productivity. And some of that may be AI. It just also, I think, productivity has just been almost structurally higher for several years now. So if you start thinking of it as 2% per year, you can sustain higher growth without more job creation. Of course, higher productivity is also what enables incomes to rise over long periods of time. So it's basically a good thing, but that's certainly the implication.
Thank you. Colby Smith with the New York Times. Today's decision was clearly very divided. It wasn't just the 2 official dissents against the cut, but there were also soft dissents from 4 others. And I'm just wondering if this reluctance from several people.
Good afternoon.
What the hell?
My colleagues and I remain squarely focused on achieving our dual mandate goals of max.
What in the hell just happened? I have no idea what just happened. This channel started the live over again. Very odd. Anyways, he wasn't talking about nothing. You know what I mean? Okay, let me see. Burpees. Jason, let's play a push-up game. Every time Jerry says... These people make me sick equals 50. You don't hate the media enough. 25. I'm not a Republican. 25. Pause. Say you're a fool, man. Oh, you hear that, man? Oh my God. Damn it. I'm gonna calm down now. Oh my gosh, bro. That is funny. Him saying pause get you 30 pythons alone. Say you are a fool, bro. Oh my God, that was funny as shit. I like that too, man. I like the numbers on that because I say those about that ratio too. Keep me accountable by those. I'm for. Good idea. I got to get my permit like you send. Registered guns, yes. Is this AI? It looks like it. What the hell? 25 push-ups. What the F? Yeah. It's all assimilation. For sure. For sure, bro. He just said them all send. So how many is that? Right? That don't count. Good morning. What's up, Dean? How are you? 110. Good morning, Dean. Let's go. Yes. Let's get Dean's name on the wheel here. Let's see. Dean, what's good with you, brother? All right, I want you guys to take a look at this wheel. Thanos. Am I missing anybody on here? Let me know. I don't think the backpackers are in here. They might be at an appointment or something. Because they do that during the day. So is everybody on here? Let me know, please, and thank you. If you're missing, let me know. So I'm gonna do a couple spins here. Sharon said, "Let's go." Everybody's here, right? I got Sin, Sharon, Jason, Ginger, Lauren, Jenny, Dean. I'm confused. So did rates stay the same? Yeah. Yeah, he didn't raise or lower them. Nico, from my understanding. But we can check that though. We'll check another network. Let's see. And rate cut. Let's see what the people got to say about this. Let's see. Line decision. Fed holds. That's live. Let's look at the
timing of additional adjustments to our policy rate based on the incoming data, the evolving outlook, and the balance of risks. Monetary policy is not on a preset course, and we will make our decisions on a meeting-by-meeting basis. To conclude, the Fed has been assigned two goals for monetary policy: maximum employment and stable prices. We remain committed to supporting maximum employment, bringing inflation sustainably to our 2% goal, and keeping longer-term inflation expectations well anchored. Our success in delivering on these goals matters to all Americans. We at the Fed will continue to do our jobs with objectivity, integrity, and a deep commitment to serve the American people. Thank you. I look forward to your questions.
Hi, Chris Rugaber at Associated Press. Thank you. I wanted to ask that, you attended the Supreme Court hearing last week on the Lisa Cook case, and Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent criticized that as political. Can you say why you attended and what you would say in response to the Secretary's criticism?
So let me start with, I don't respond to comments by other officials, whoever they may be. It's just not appropriate to do that. I will tell you why I attended. I would say that that case is perhaps the most important legal case in the Fed's 113-year history. And as I thought about it, I thought it might be hard to explain why I didn't attend. In addition, Paul Volcker went to a Supreme Court case famously, and I guess in 1985 or so. So it's precedented, and I thought it was an appropriate thing, and I did it.
Great. And then just quickly follow on the job market. You mentioned last month that the household survey might be distorted, and you also mentioned the potential for overcounting jobs, which would suggest that we're still in a negative hiring pace. So do you see the drop in the unemployment rate as solid? And what's the basis for saying that things have stabilized? Thank you.
So, yeah, really two questions. One is, so we're getting through the distortions in the data from the shutdown. However big they were in November, they're smaller in December. So we're getting to a place where they're no longer material. They're still there, but it's a tweak here and there. The reason why we changed the statement, let me pull it out, was simply, it used to say that judges that downside risks to employment rose in recent months. So we saw, data coming in, which suggests some signs of stabilization. I wouldn't go too far with that, but some signs of stabilization. There are also some signs of continued cooling. And so we thought that was no longer an accurate description of the data. In addition, the outlook for economic activity has clearly improved since the last meeting. And that should matter for labor demand and for employment over time. So for those two reasons, we thought we would take that language out of the statement.
Nick Timros, The Wall Street Journal. Chair Powell, you've generally avoided engaging with political controversies directly, and the video statement on January 11th was a departure. What made this different, and are you concerned it could draw the institution further into political debates?
So today I'm simply going to refer you to the statement that I made on January 11th. I'm not going to expand on it or repeat it. So I'm just not going to. This is really about the press conference and the economy and what we did today, and some ancillary areas, but I'm not going to be getting into that.
Can you say whether the Fed has responded to the subpoenas?
I have nothing for you on that today.
Mike.
Michael McKee from Bloomberg Radio TV. Have you made a decision on whether you would remain as a governor of the Federal Reserve? And if so, would you tell us what it is? And if not, when might we anticipate a decision?
No. And I really, once again, have nothing for you on that today. That either.
Why would you want to leave it all under the circumstances?
Again, I don't want to get into this. It's not something I'm. There's a time and place for these questions, but not something.
Yeah, not now when we're addressing the nation. Don't ask me these questions now. This shit is so fucking fake.
Claire Jones, Financial Times. Thanks a lot for taking my questions. And another one that might, lead to a similar answer. We've seen quite big movements in the dollar over recent days. What do you think is driving the US currency lower? And have you been at all concerned just by the extent of the volatility we've seen this week? Thank you.
So, Claire, as you probably know, we don't comment on the dollar. Really, the administration, especially the Treasury Department, has the job of oversight over the currency and exchange rates and all that. We don't comment on that. It's not our role. So I have nothing for you.
But what's your view on the market movements? What do you think behind them? Is it asset managers diversifying? Is it? Yeah, I just don't. We don't talk about the dollar. We don't talk about what moves it around. It's just not appropriate for us to do so. Really, the Treasury Department.
We just print it. We don't talk about the dollar. We just print it.
That's all we do. Their bailiwick, and we stay off it. We do monetary policy and some other things, but we don't comment on the dollar. Sorry.
Neil.
Hi, Chair Powell. Neil Irwin with Axios. Obviously, no SEP in this meeting, but in light of the slight firming up of the language around growth in the labor market in the statement, should we assume that the timeline for any further rate cuts is pushed back compared to what people might have thought in December?
Well, first of all, if you look at the incoming data since the last meeting, clear improvement in the outlook for growth. The data have come in, and sentiment, the beige book, everything comes in suggesting that this year starts off on a solid footing for growth. Inflation performed about as expected, and as I mentioned, some of the labor market data came in suggesting we're evidence of stabilization. So it's overall a stronger forecast, really, if that's your question. I'm not sure I answered your question.
But in terms of timing or pacing of any additional easing?
So we haven't made, what we'd say about this was that after this meeting, after the 3 recent rate cuts, we're well positioned to address the risks that we face on both sides of our dual mandate, and we'll continue to make our decisions meeting by meeting based on the incoming data implications and the outlook and the balance of risks. Haven't made any decisions about future meetings, but the economy is growing at a solid pace. The unemployment rate has been broadly stable, and inflation remains somewhat elevated. So we'll be looking to our goal variables and letting the data light the way.
Exactly, Sen. Exactly. Imagine getting paid for all of this professional hand jobbing like this room full of media cosplayers. That's all it is, bro. My God. Do they tell the truth on anything, man? It's not appropriate to comment on the dollar. What the fuck does that mean? Exactly. He's basically saying he takes care of monetary stuff, not fiscal, I guess, or the other way around.
Below there on their long run. Is the Fed still in a process of bringing it down towards a middle range of neutral? And what would it take to get there?
So the count I did was that 4 of the 19 were at or above that. Maybe I missed by 1, but I thought it was 4. And if you look at the dealer survey, it was 10 out of 58 where we're at or above. So you're right. It's the higher end of the range. What we say is it's within the range of plausible estimates. This is the higher end of that range, but so for some people they think it's neutral. I think, and many of my colleagues think, it's hard to look at the incoming data and say that policy's significantly restrictive at this time. It may be sort of loosely neutral, or it may be somewhat restrictive. It's in the eye of the beholder, and of course, no one knows with any precision. So, you got to follow up.
I get what you're saying, but
Exactly, Kramer. Kramer, what's good? What's good? Sid said middle range of neutral. What the fuck does that even mean, bro? What does that even mean? So all I'm hearing is buy Bitcoin. I can't answer any of the questions you actually want answers for. Yes. Pick a struggle, bro, for real. Kramer, welcome in, my boy. How are you, sir? Cindy, you're killing me over here, man.
Of it is done with 75 basis points, and before that, 100. It's 175 basis points we've cut since we began cutting in September of 2024. So you've moved now to, Fed funds is running just a little below 3.65%. So you've moved a good way, And we think we're well positioned here to watch how the economy performs, look at the data. We're not making decisions about future meetings, but we do think we're well positioned after those 3 cuts to let the data speak to us.
Amira.
Thank you, Chair Powell. Mara Moakley from Bloomberg News. To what extent did the committee discuss the possibility of cutting at this meeting or in March? And how are you all thinking about the conditions that would merit another rate cut? Is there broad agreement on the committee about what it would take?
So there was broad support on the committee for holding today. Broad, I would say, including among non-voters. So that's where that.
All right, enough of him, guys. Sorry about that. I had to listen to a little bit of it. Let's do some spins here, and then let's get into a couple news stories. I know this is bad time because it's early and a lot of people are working or stuff like that. So if you want me to stay on, I will. But let me know. The same data that has to be revised a few months later. Okay, homie, yeah. They work for Soros Industries. Yeah, they got a job, all right. I think they make between $100 and $200 a day. There's a couple other multimillionaires and billionaires paying too. But let's get a spin in, guys. All right. We started at block 113. We came into the stream. And we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spins, guys. Thank you guys so much for being here. I appreciate it. And let's spin it for the first spin, and let's see who can win it. Uh-oh, somebody's bankrupt. Somebody's going to be bankrupt. Which means on their they won't this spin that they win, they won't get the money. And that's it. But we don't have two names in a row. It's just bankrupt. Well, that doesn't count for Sin because Sin is a legend. Sin Diesel, you have won 420. You are a legend, sir. So that doesn't apply to you. All right, that was block 113. Let's do 114. Pause. Crap, it's going to be me. Dean. Hard to get real jobs with useless degrees. Tell me about it. Bankruptcy, I know. Dean, you're the winner, brother. You got 315, sir. Congratulations. Thanks for being here, man. I appreciate you, bro. I really do. Let me see the Zap stream. If you guys don't mind, man, I don't know what's up with Zap stream, bro. I don't know what's up with it, man. Let me see over here. It just ain't working, man. I don't know. I'm about to cut it off here in a minute. Dean, damn you, Sharon 10. It is. Jason, get on it, sir. I think he's still in the sauna, man. I think he's still in the sauna. You know what? Let's count it as organic words, Sin. If I say it on my own, how about that? Facts. You know what I mean? If I say it on my own, how about that? But if you want to lift some extra stuff and do some push-ups, no doubt. Dean wins 114. Let's see who can win 115. Stack it. I don't have your wallet, bro. Sin again. Sin with another win of 420. Congratulations, sir. Something happened on strike here. St. Roosevelt is in the house. Thank you, St. Brosy. He sends in 128 for today's date. Thank you, St. Brosy. I appreciate that, bro. Very much. Sends a winner again for 115. Let's do 116. Did you see Ilhan Omar with that fake ass spray thing on her yesterday? These people are dumb as shit, man. Stack and Richie, you're the winner, sir. Definitely don't want to do push-ups in a public sauna. All types of nastiness in those, for real. Nice. Yeah. Stacking, I need your wallet, brother. You've never given me your wallet before, sir. You're the winner. Stacking. Let me know what you want to do, sir. But I need your wallet, okay? Please and thank you. Thanks for being here, brother. He wins 116. Let's see who win 117. Not gonna lie, I like doing these a little early so I can go about my day. Hey, somebody's gonna put their name on the wheel twice. Let's see who does that. Next person. No, not organically. Okay. All right, this doesn't count. That does not count. Got to be a name, somebody's name. Dean. Dean, you win 315 and you get your name on here twice, my boy. Let me copy. Put it right there. Congrats, Dean. You just upped your chances, sir. Every pause matters, Sharon says. Dean. D. Yes. Dean, congratulations for 117. Stack and Richie. I either need your address for block 116. You got 110 sats. 105 sats, or you can give them away to someone. What would you like to do, sir? But we had an empty slot here that we got to take care of. She was trying to be like Trump at Butler, like it was gonna be a powerful view for her constituents, aka Froster Somalis. Yep. She's trying to take the pressure off them. And again, only stupid people are gonna fall for this, guys. As soon as I saw it, I go, this doesn't even look right. Right? And I was half-assed watching it. Sharon. There we go. Congratulations, Dean. Matter of fact, let's take a look at that. Let's take a look at it a little bit closer. Anthony Brian Logan says Ilhan Omar looked directly at the guy and nodded before he sprayed that stuff on her. Stage. He also sprayed on her torso rather than directly between the eyes, which is where most actual lunatic people would hit you. Yeah. And the guy was sitting up front, by the way. So let's watch this.
Abolishment of the agency. ICE cannot be reformed. It cannot be rehabilitated. We must abolish ICE for good. And DHS Secretary Kristi Noem must resign or face impeachment.
Wow. She did look at him. She glanced right at him, man. And also, again, didn't spray between her eyes, just sprayed her on the chest. There we go. Dean, please donate to someone of your choosing. Okay, Richie. I'll tell you what, on the next spin, I'll give it to someone. All right. I'll give the 115 to block 118. I'll just add it to them. Thank you, Dean. I appreciate that. Richie, I appreciate that, brother. Yeah. These Democrats, again, they're dealing with idiots. And of course they believe it. They all believe this bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Why did she walk away from the booth like she was singing Nuck if you buck? Nah. Because it was fake, bro. You know why? Oh my God. Look at this, man.
Must resign or face impeachment.
Or face impeachment. And that was the word. That was the word. Face impeachment. Then she looked up at him. She charged after him like she was going to do something. If it was real, she would have been in a little shock and cowered down. Yeah, exactly. But this is the Democrat Party. I tell you guys this all the time. These people are actors and idiots. Okay? And she's an actor. Watch the walk-off. Let's watch it.
Noem must resign or face impeachment. I don't know.
Oh my God, he sprayed something on her.
I need a napkin to know nothing. No, we will.
No. You need to go get checked.
No, we will continue. These fucking assholes are not going to get away with it.
You need to go get checked. No, You don't know what that's whatever it is smells so bad. She needs to go get checked. I don't know what that was.
What they want. Please don't let them.
It's not about him, Ilhan. Ilhan, it's not about him. It's about your safety. No, he sprayed something on you. You need to go get checked. Yeah, and it smells terrible.
We're gonna keep talking. Just give me 10 minutes. Just give me 10 minutes. I beg you. Please don't let them have the show. Please don't let them have the show. Here is the reality that people like this ugly man don't understand. We are Minnesota strong, and we will stay resilient in the face of whatever they might throw at us. Everybody settle down. I'm going to finish my remarks. It is important for me to continue to lead my Democratic colleagues in demanding her resignation.
Wow. And you notice how they did it. Well, what did I just say? Yep. Lunch is over later. Okay, Richie. Appreciate you, man. I thought they were expert actors. That acting was bad. Well, mission accomplished. Great show. Strength. Yeah, exactly. See, the thing is, for people like us, of course, we're not going to fall for it, but we're not their constituents, and we don't fall, we're not going to vote for them. But the people that vote for her, I don't know what the Democrats are saying, but I'm pretty sure they believe this. And the people that are the pundits and the actors and the liars and the manipulators, aka the Brian Taylor Cohens, all these other people, they're going to push it out like this was true. These are the same exact people that will tell you that woman a couple weeks ago didn't hit the guy with the car. They'll tell you that the guy with the gun wasn't aggressive, all this stuff, man. Check out the dude in the background wearing the mask. This dude right here. Shit, the dude or the woman?
Everybody settle down. I'm going to finish my...
Wow, man. Dude is like, I can't believe you pulled this off. Go figure, yeah. Exactly, man. These people, man. Oh my gosh, bro. The lengths that they will go to, man, it's just incredible, bro. I mean, literally, it's just like the audacity of these people, man. Okay, let's see. I'm going to pull up some stuff. Let's look at let's look at a Bitcoin video real quick. Chris Reed, no one uses Bitcoin. It's too slow. Let's see what they're saying here.
Bolt card. Hey guys, we are back with another Lightning payment chain video. This time we're buying a coffee for a friend with the Lightning Network. So, bolt card.
I'm using the Coin Corner wallet with a 15,000 sat invoice. And then I'm going to send those 15,000 sats to Matt.
So I've got Moon Wallet here, got a 15,000 sat invoice. Cool, it's received. So if I click send, over to Danny.
I'm going to receive this on Phoenix Wallet for non-custodial, already received. I'm now going to send to our friend Joe here in El Salvador. Hi, Joe.
Hey, Joe.
Hey, Joe. What's your Lightning? The flags give it away.
It's Joe at coincorner.io.
Coincorner.io. So I'm going to send via a Lightning address now to Joe. So don't have to scan a QR code. All the way from the Alaman to Joe in El Salvador, and that's now sent and received.
Oh, I've just got a notification on my watch. I've received 50,000 cents on the Lightning Network. Dave, can I pay for this coffee with my? Of course, the big here. Fantastic. So I'm going to hold it up to his phone. He's got a notification to open up in wallet of Satoshi. He's wanted to pay, and he clicks to receive, and just like that. Coffee.
Enjoy the coffee. Enjoy. Thanks, Joe. Thanks, Gabe.
Love that. Love to see that, man. Adoption, guys. Adoption. We love to see it. What else is going on in the world, guys? Oh, this is going on. Look at your boy, Big Jamie. Let's see what he's got to say about crypto.
Smart contract, blockchain is real. It's been around for quite a while, but now it's becoming more effective, more efficient because people are finding ways to do it faster and cheaper, permissioned or not permissioned. Smart contracts, I think, will probably be real.
Wow.
Hey guys, we are back with another
Wow,
lightning
wow,
payment chain
wow.
video. This time we're buying a coffee for a friend with the Lightning Network. So what
I
bolt
thought Bitcoin was for scammers. Where do we get that card? That's a good question. I'm not sure. You got to look at the name. I believe you can do that with Tap Signer, Sharon. Yeah, that's pretty cool, man. I love that. This is why Democrats are panicking about immigration enforcement. The Electoral College baseline favors Republicans. Census math is shifting EVs to red states, and Democrats are losing voter registration ground. Remove illegal immigration from the equation. The math gets brutal fast. Yeah, that's true. Very true. Oh, okay. Coin Kite, the maker of Cold Card, has Tap Signer. Yeah. But yeah, that's about it, guys. You know, the Fed's a joke. We're going to be looking at this in 100 years saying, why do we wait for one man to tell us whether or not, what the cost of money is, how much money they're printing and what it's costing to borrow money. It's just insanity, man. It's insanity. But I'm not going to hold you guys up long. Let me see if I can do one more spin here. No blocks are coming out. All right. So let's see. Who didn't win? We'll give it to Sharon. Sharon, I'm going to give you that 110, honey. All right. All right. Thanks, guys, for coming in. I appreciate you guys, every single one of you. We just got to stay vigilant out here, keep your head on a swivel, and not only learn about what the lies are, because once you find out what the lies are, you'll find out the truth. And then once you understand the truth, you have to spread the truth, because we have a lot of people around that are slaves, man. Because if you believe in lies, you're a slave, and only one thing that could set you free, and that's the truth. No problem, Sharon. Thank you for the kisses, honey. I appreciate you. And there's only one way. Make sure you guys watch my last video. I might make a video or two today walking around, because I'm gonna go out today in the field. Who knows? I might do a live. Who knows out there? But I've been getting out lately, man, and I've been keeping a couple of bucks in my pocket, and I just been trying to let my hair down a little bit and stop being so uptight all the time and just get out there and touch grass and stuff. So I'm gonna get out there today. I spent a lot of time outside yesterday. I'm gonna do that. Las Vegas is a very interesting place, man. It's a very interesting place. So again, there's only one way you're gonna learn the truth, hold the truth, and nothing but the truth. So help us God, and that is getting rid of the lies and telling people about the truth. Thank you, brother. Thank you, Sin. I appreciate this donations and you being here and support, man. And always just being here, bro. Your presence here alone, Sin, is just it's monumental to me, man. Never take that for granted. But guys, there's only one way for our money to tell the truth. The only truthful money that's ever been. It's not gold, it's not silver, even though they're ripping. Take advantage of the cheap prices of the greatest money ever known to man, and the only money that's going to tell you the truth. Have justice, also the American way. Fix the money, fix the world, pay off the national debt, stop inflation. And I'm telling you right now, this money will set you free. And if I had to take a guess, I'm pretty sure you guys already know what that is. It's the best way to save. And for me, the only way to save. And that's Bitcoin. I love each and every one of you, and I'll talk to you soon.